Sure, this is episode 9. I'm drawing this out much more longer than I intended to because the original video was only like two episodes. I can't even remember. But anyways, guys, in the last episode I was just kind of talking about my breakup. And it's really hard to talk about it because I'm still not over it, which is really stupid because I feel like I should be by now. Anyways, so the main the main reasons why this person broke up with me was like he felt like we were very different, and then the second one was because he felt very pressured. And you know what? Like, it's true. Like, I was a dumbass and I brought up getting married and having kids way too early. But, like, to be fair, like, that's always something that I've wanted. That's, like, my main thing that I've always wanted to get married and have kids. Another thing was, so feeling pressured. And I'm pretty sure he felt pressure from my mom because my mom completely loved him and she got, like, really excited really fast. And I don't know. I feel like the whole thing is just a learning curve for me and for my mom. Well, my parents in general, but particularly my mother, because my mom got way too excited way too quickly, and part of me feels like maybe that's kind of the reason why he ended things. Like, just slightly. And so, like, when we broke up, my mom actually texted him and was like, "What the hell?" Well, she sent him bitmojis. And I actually was kind of mad at that because I specifically told her not to talk to him, but she did. And but I know that she meant well, but I kind of think that in the future, I'm just gonna, like, tell my mom not to do things, or, like, it's gonna be a really long time before I have my significant other meet my mom. Because, like, she, like, invited him to Vegas without asking me first or asking me for my permission, and that actually kind of hurt my feeling. Well, it bothered me because I'm like, internally I was like, Mom, I just started dating this person, maybe you shouldn't ask him to go to Vegas. But, you know, he went and we ended up having a nice time, but still, like, I really wish she would have consulted me before asking that, because to me that's a big deal. Anyways, I'm not really, well, I haven't contacted this person. That's not true. Probably like a week or two after we had our whole, like, closure thing, and it was so hard because I still really care about this person. Like, something happened that really triggered me, and so I messaged him about it. But like, when he dumped me and we were talking about it and he was giving me the reasons and we were actually talking in depth about what happened, he brought up a lot of things that I was insecure about, but he doesn't know that I was insecure about those things. So that was something that really hurt. Another thing that actually really hurt was, like, I'm not his, when it comes to his physical standard of, like, what he wants in a partner, I'm not it. I mean, like, okay, so I'm not fat, but I'm not really skinny either. And so there was, like, a certain body type that he considers ideal, and so I didn't fit it. And he mentioned an actress that he really finds attractive, and so I would compare myself to this person frequently, and it just really hurt my feelings. And it's really lame, but even today, when I see a person who looks like this certain actress, or I see a girl who has her body type, I actually get really sad, and I automatically have a prejudice against her. So I, like, have to frequently work to not have prejudices around these people. And I've also come to realize that you can't make everyone happy, because there was this person in my past that I was really interested in. I really wanted to date him. And, and he really, really likes thick girls. And he, according to my friends, the reason why he didn't date me was because I wasn't thick enough. And then this person who I was dating prefers very thin girls. And so I was too thick for him and I wasn't thin enough. And so you just can't make everyone happy, so you might as well just do whatever the fuck you want. But this particular person, he always tried to make the point of you're not my ideal, but in the future, as time goes on, I know that I'll find you more attractive. And now I'm not even sure if that's a compliment. It's kind of like saying I'll get used to you. But yeah, I met his father and I met his brother, and they seem to like me. I've come to discover that his mom doesn't like me. And so when we were having our whole sit down thing, I kept on relating myself to the main character of the show The Good Place, and I felt really dumb bringing up this show, but it's kind of how I felt. So basically, this person, the person I was with, he comes from a very strong conservative Christian background. And so for him, in his world, everything is very black and white. So I myself, I am a Christian, I love the Lord, but I'm not very strict on certain things. And I do believe that the world is pretty black and white, but at the same time, there is a lot of gray. And so, when it comes to, judgment and stuff, God, okay, so I believe that, yeah, there is a lot of black and white in the world. However, there's also a lot of gray. And so since I'm not God, I'm just going to leave the gray to God. So anyways, I felt as though, and this isn't his fault, this is just kind of how he's raised in the culture that he grew up in. I essentially felt like Eleanor, and his world was The Good Place. And so for those of you who haven't watched The Good Place, Eleanor, the main character, she dies, and she's actually a terrible person, but due to a clerical error, she was sent to the good place. She was sent to heaven. And so she just feels completely out of place there, but she's doing her best to remain there. She's doing her best to be a part of the good place and to make a home there. And so I told him that I felt that I'm Eleanor, where I'm kind of to his standards, I'm a pretty fucking awful person. And then the world that he grew up in, the world he's comfortable in, the world that he's expected to stay in, is the good place, and I would just never fit in. And so it would be me constantly fighting between who I feel like I truly am and the person that world would want me to be and that world would accept. And I think a lot of it did have to do with his mom, because his mom, she didn't like me. I'm not sure if it was because, part of the reason why she didn't like me is because she said that I stressed him out a lot. And you know what? Fine. The NCLEX stressed me out, and according to my dad, everyone in the house, including my poor little puppy, was stressed. But when you're in a pressure cooker of, stress, studying for the NCLEX is just a pressure cooker of stress, and you hate yourself, and you need to study every day. And, it's scary, and it's expensive, and I really just wanted to pass. And so, you know what? If I was a stressed out bitch, then so be it. But his mom just didn't like me, and she doesn't like that I wear a lot of makeup, and yeah. That was kind of another thing he said. He said that, like, oh, during the NCLEX, you're really stressed out and you're going to go into nursing, which is a high stress job. So, like, how are you going to act then? And I was actually pretty mad at that because, like, unless you've taken a test like the NCLEX, you don't know the stress and the pressure that you're under to do well on those types of things and to succeed. Basically, my livelihood depended on me passing the NCLEX, and you know, if you're not going to support me during the most stressful, awful time in my life, then how are you going to support me in the future? You know what I mean? But yeah, I probably, maybe it is better that we're not dating because I probably have felt as though every single day I would have to not be who I truly am. And the thing is, like, I even told him, like, you know, yes, I'm a Christian first and foremost, but I'm a punk. This is my personality. This has shaped me, and this is like a big part of who I am. Like, I found punk rock the same time I found Christianity, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that God is going to use that in a very unique way, and I'm excited for it. Like, I've been a punk for 10 years and I'm not going to change that. So yeah, I'm still really upset over it. And I still, like, want to call him and ask him how he's doing. There are days where I still really wish that we were together. I still wish he was in my life. Every single day I still think about him, and it's annoying, it's so frustrating, it's nauseating, but I can't help but to think about him every day and remember something that we did or something that he said, or I go to interesting places and I wish he was there with me, and it's just annoying, and I wish that I would run into him, and yeah, I really miss this person. And I genuinely hope he's okay. There are some times where I just kind of sit in my room and there were a couple times where I sat in my room and I would just start crying, and I'm kind of crying right now because I just try to forget everything. But I miss him, and it's lame. But I will admit that, you know, it probably wasn't a good idea to date him. Part of the reason why he felt pressure was I told him, like, hey, even though I want to move to Portland, because we're together, I'll stay in California because I want to be with you. And that, you know, also made him feel super pressured, and I feel really stupid for that. So yeah, other things about him. He's 2 years younger than me, so you know, I feel like that 2 years, I mean, he is a child at heart, but at the same time, like, there were certain things that he was actually pretty immature about. But, you know, he'll mature one day. Now that I'm going to be, like, moving to Miami, I think that once I start my job, I'll probably just call him and say, hey, hope you're doing fine. By the way, I got a job in Miami. Have a good life. So, yeah. It's lame, but I still care about him, and I still miss him, and he will be getting an X-Files eventually when I finally get to that. But a couple of things that made me feel good about my life and made me feel better was, obviously my friends. I just remember, I'm pretty sure it was Jessica and Dean who, like, said this, but both of them were like, well, more so Jessica, but, like, both of them were like, Jessica was like, girl, like, okay, like, you've had your fun, but you need to start dating up, sweetie. And I was like, what do you mean? And she said, like, you're at least a solid 6, and you keep on going for, like, 2s and 3s, so... Actually, no! Like, Dean was the one who was like, Kim, you're like a 6. Stop dating 2s and 3s. And even though that's really, really petty, that actually made me feel like a little bit better about myself. Because, like, you know, I mean, I know that I'm not, like, super hot, but I am pretty damn attractive, and I don't want to say he was average looking, but, I mean, I found him attractive, but, it wasn't a balance. That sounded really mean. But anyways, another thing that just kind of, like, gets me going, just, you know, because I'm not dating, I am able to move to Miami and get this job. I will say this though, that like after we broke up, I was like, fuck it, like I don't want to stay in California anymore. I'm leaving. I'm going to do everything that I can to leave. And so I thought Portland was my ticket out of California. Turns out it's actually Miami, and that's pretty fucking cool. Like, I'm moving to Miami. How crazy is that? Anyways, yeah, what else? Yeah, just, like, my friends have been there for me, and now I'm also kind of recognizing, like, it's better that I'm not dating because I'm moving to Miami. I have my little dog son. I need to, like, get my shit together in Miami before I should date again, but honestly, I just kind of want to take a year off from dating because, like, I really want to focus more on my relationship with God. I remember I was talking to my friend Devron about it, and he just kind of reminded me that, like, I spend all of this time talking to God about all my boy problems when God was truly the person who loved me first, and he's probably sitting there thinking, like, girl, like, I'm the one who truly loves you, like, focus on me more. So, like, I don't want to date for a year, so I'm just gonna, like, focus on God during that time, get my life together, move to Miami, start working, making my own money, and, like, honestly, a really great perk about being single is, like, all the money that I make is mine. Because, like, when I was dating this person, I would, like, buy him, well, okay, he actually bought me a lot of stuff, but I actually had fun buying stuff for him. But now I have all of this money to spend on myself and my girlfriends. I love them to death. Also, like, you know, we weren't really a compatible couple, as much as I don't like admitting that. Like, I am a huge punk rocker. He really likes, computers and VR systems. And I'm not really interested in those things, and he's not particularly interested in going into a mosh pit with me. So, there's that. But yeah, like, I wish him well, and he'll find an amazing girl, but I'm not ready to know whether or not he's dating a girl. Yeah. Sometimes, like, I hear stuff about him, like, oh yeah, he's actually doing well. And, like, then I just, like, sit and dwell on it, and then I just get really sad. I still miss him, and I feel so stupid because of that, but it'll be okay. I'm gonna move on, and there's a reason why I'm single. And I think that reason is because I am meant to become a Miami bitch. So anyways, thank you for watching this episode, and I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna end it with this episode. I think I have one episode left, and I'm gonna go film it right now. So thank you very much for watching. I'm a punk chick, and I love it, and I'm always gonna be a punk rocker. So thanks, guys. See you next episode.